Hello everybody, my name is Unlucky Few, this is my YouTube channel and today we're going to be talking about state of survival. Let's get cracking on then. Okay everybody, I asked a question to all Alliance members what would they like to hear on my next video, and the general consensus is you want to know hero setups. Now the problem with hero setups is that if I go by my hero setups, it's going to be rather difficult. I'm at a certain level. I do spend a bit of money on the game, not as much as I have been for obvious reasons. I don't like sleeping in my car when the wife finds out. So I think it's going to be a little unfair for me to go through mine because I've bought some and I've upgraded them with in-game money. Most people or players in our alliance do not spend money and will never spend money. So I think the best thing for me to do is, rather than going through what I've got in here and why I set mine up, is I'm going to go to my alternative account, my alt account, which I've been leveling up, which I've been doing a few bits and pieces on it, not a great deal. But when it comes to actually upgrading the heroes, I've done very little. When it comes to setting them up in rallies or in formations, I've done absolutely nothing. So I think the best thing for me to do is use my alternative account. I can show you the stats that they've got, why I pick certain heroes in certain areas, and what I need to do to improve those to make them better. So I'm just going to jump onto that one. I'll pull it over and then I'll go through it, and then hopefully everyone will understand why I pick the heroes I've got and why I look at what gear I need to be upgrading to help them, to help me. So I'll be right back. Okay then, no laughing please. I know this is a tiny little account, 24. I mean, have a look at the chief gear, look. Yeah, I've done absolutely nothing with it. It is so weak. A paper bag could blow this thing over. So what I've been doing is I have done a few bits and pieces on it, but I've been upgrading some of my heroes, not all of them, but I haven't actually set them up in a formation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through that process, so hopefully it gives you an idea on what you've got to look out for, so you're picking the right heroes for the right task or the right job at hand. So first of all, let's go into my heroes and have a good giggle at this. Yes, my 3 heroes that I'm currently using in my training is the Butcher, which is why he's 61. Also Sarge, the Butcher and Sarge, because you get quite a few of the fragments for them anyway, so I thought they'll be nice and easy to level up quickly. And also I think it's Rusty I've got, because Rusty is also very, very easy as well. Obviously I've got a lot of level 1s here that I've unlocked. I didn't even realise I unlocked 3 in one day. I didn't even realise I'd actually won them. They're all sitting down here. I was like, oh, okay. So we'll be ignoring some of these people on here, but then again, we need to be checking every single one. So the first thing I'm going to do first, I'm going to click on each one and see if there's anything that I can upgrade. So they need 2 more. Have I got 2 in here? I have, but I'm going to wait to see. She's pretty good actually. Her stats are quite good. I mean, as low as she is, first lieutenant. Obviously she's got the experience of a level 61. Oh, that can be upgraded. I might as well do that one on there, because she is pretty good. She is pretty good. I use her a lot on mine. So yeah, so what I do is I look at this up here to see what her percentages are, and I'll do that on every single one so I can set it up right. So him, I've not touched him, so I'm not going to bother with him. I don't think I can. Oh, I can upgrade him, but I might as well upgrade him while I'm here. He is infantry as well. His stats are going to be really, really low. Can I do her? Nope. And this one, nope. He's pretty good, he is. I've got him quite high on mine. I mean, he's only very, very low. I mean, he's a first lieutenant. Oh, you can have that as well. So I might as well do that as well because that will increase. So this is another thing, because he's a hunter. There's 3 options you have. Obviously, you need the right amount of items here. Currently don't for that and that, but I do with this, and this will give me an increase of 18.3% to 21.6% on health, and 1.23% looks like on lethality. So I might as well do that. So that will enhance that up a bit. But the being that he's a hunter, his stats are quite high considering he's a very, very low level. I've not spent much time on it. Everything that's upgraded on him is what I've won, not what I've bought. On my account, I bought extra to upgrade him. And, I mean, he's on 200, over 230% on each of these. Really good. Right, let's come back and see if I can upgrade her at all. Well, she just needs one. Maggie's pretty good, so I am going to waste one on her. Because she obviously has a dog that comes in and takes a lot of the damage and deals a lot of damage as well. These I haven't touched, so I would imagine these are going to be nothing. Him, got 98. How many of these have I got? I need 22 to upgrade him more. He is pretty good, but I'm going to wait on him for his stats. I much prefer her in an army. I've always liked an army. She's always had pretty good stats, even when she's quite low. So 105, 105, 75 and 80. This is Sarge. I wonder if I can level him up at all yet. Nope. Going on to her. Can't do her either. What are her stats like? Not majorly bad at her level. Same with this one. Her stats, they're not too bad, although the health and lethality is pretty poor. I can't upgrade him. I should be doing more of him. I've got loads of these. I can't upgrade her. In fact, I could upgrade her. Where is she? Rider. Pretty low. Don't want to waste them. I want to make sure I do the right ones. He's hunter. Oh, he can be. Twice bollocks things. Something I can upgrade. That was his stats at the moment. 17. Let's give him a little boost. I can always take these off again through reset if need be. Go to 10 and see what he gives me on 10. There we go. Not much better. Poor Tony. He can be upgraded as well. Twice. She's not too bad even when she's leveled up. And these, what we've got in here, just 8 can help him. And I think he's got the weakest stats of all, but he can be upgraded, so we'll upgrade him anyway just for the sake of it. And I think his stats are quite poor, even when he's quite high. Right, so I've done everything I can possibly do, apart from obviously level these up, but they're so low on the ranking side of it that it's probably not wasting the experience on this, because it's not going to jump them up majorly high. I mean, you know, max capacity 65 is nothing. But his stats don't look too bad there. Let's stick some of this on him, see what happens. It might shock us. So a lot of this is just it's spending the time to add the experience and add the trying to increase their stats, max them out as much as you possibly can. Sometimes I tend to pick on 1 or 2 that I'll spend more time on, but just for recording purposes, I'm just going to do a little bit on the ones that I know they're going to give me a little bit better stats than maybe there you go, so he's maxed out at 20 now. Now let's see what he gives us. 75, 80, 36, 17, we've got 2,600 and 765. Well, that's better then. She's not too bad stat wise as well when you start leveling her up, but obviously leveling her up is going to be quite difficult. Unless of course you do a lot of events and you get these little things down here. Right then, so now I've upgraded them as much as I possibly can, and I've also done my hero gear in here. I'm going to go into my formations. Hopefully it gives me the same formations as it does with my other account. Probably not. It gives me 3. That's okay. Right, so what we're going to do is this is what it's saying is my best heroes. These are my best heroes to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disagree with that, and I'm going to go and pick my own. So I'm going to come into here, and this is what's been set. If you click on these little wheels down here, it gives you the option. It shows you the current one you've got, and it shows you the ones of that same rank, being all these are infantry. It shows you his stats of 3.1. So he's got 3.1 million, and this here is basic benefits, or his stats basically. So march capacity, infantry attack, infantry defense, infantry health, infantry lethality. So he's pretty good because I mean he has been leveled up quite a lot. What does this one here give me in comparison? So he's 105, but she gives me 108 infantry attack and 108 infantry defense. It gives me 75 health and 80 lethality. She gives the same, but she also gives settlement troop attack of plus 22.8% and an enemy settlement troop defense of minus 11%. So the enemy settlement troop defense, I would imagine that's me attacking somebody. It drops their defense by 11%. I might be reading that right or wrong. So because she's got better stats on here than he has, I'm going to disagree with what the computer's offering. I'm going to put her there. And if you click on your next one, for me it's down as Sarge because he's my hunter. Now these are the hunters that I can use. Obviously he's going to be the worst because he's only a level 10. But my current stats from him is 12,000 march capacity, 115 attack defense, but only 43 hunter health and lethality. Well, he gives a lot more, doesn't he? I mean, 147.2 attack and defense and 43 health and lethality, compared to 44 and 43, and he gives 43 and 44 as well, yeah. But his attack and defense is a lot more. So 115, I think he maxed out about 130, and he's already above that. So we'll be using him, even though his skills down here aren't as good, but stats wise, that's going to help me out. Excuse me. Then we come on to our last one here. They've said that Jane is my best in here. I disagree yet again. 115 for rider attack and defense, but rider health is 37 and rider lethality is only 37, and this is 100 and 100 and 37 37 compared to 115 115 37 37. Now the reason why I'm going to pick Maddie and Frank over Jane has the higher damage. She also has the higher stats on attack and defense than Maddie. She's on level 3 and level 2, level 3, 3 and 2. But I'm going to go with Maddie. Let's just have a look at these. Oh, that's quite low. That's quite low as well. Once you get a march increase against infected. Troop infection, infected lethality, such if you're fighting an infected. Squad stamina consumption minus 20%. I suppose that's if you're doing rallies or intels, it will having him in reduces the cost of the stamina by 20%. Yeah, I'm going to stick with her. I think she's going to be better than her, even though her stats are a little bit higher. So this is what I think is my best compared to what the computer says, or the game's computer AI, whatever you want to call it. It says is my best. I believe these are my best. I'm going to get more from these than I am from what they offered. So once you're happy with that, so you've now picked him in here. So Butcher was here. Was it? No, Butcher was here. Sarge was here, and Jane was there. These are the ones I think are the better. So I'm going to save this as my one. Now you can also change this as well. You can increase and decrease the amount of troops in there, or the amount of different styles of troops. So for instance, if I was setting this up for trap, I'd have that about there, I'd have that about there, and I'd have that all the way up there as much as I can, and then bring these up to compete with it. God, that comes up quite a way, isn't it? And then I'd save that, and I'd use this as my rally for trap. But as I'm such a low level, I don't do rallies, so I should just leave this as is. So I'll come out of there, go back onto that. Any rallies I try and do, it's going to put this in, but if I decide no, they're not the best I've got, this is, I can then click on there and then send this instead. So what you must remember is when you set this as your best, I tend to then do my second best and then my third best. So when I'm fighting somebody or hitting their base, I will use these. If I'm just doing general stuff, I tend to just use what the computer says. But when it comes to trap or Colosseum or whatever, you can change this around. Remember, Colosseum is more infantry heavy, whereas trap is more hunter heavy. I'm pretty certain that's trap. I hope it is. I was just made a fool of myself. I'm sure they're right. So now we can go on to number 2, and it says that this is my second strongest. So again, I'm going to click on it and I'm going to check for myself. So 105, 75, 80, 105, 75, 80. Well, I always prefer Nanami because I know when she starts leveling up, she's going to way surpass him. So I'm going to keep her where she is. We can't use Jane because Jane's already being used. No, we are. Jane isn't being used. Jane's Hunter, she's Rider. We're using him, not her. So we can leave her in here because she's lower than he is, but she's not as low as, but this one's higher. I'm going to go with him. And we can't use Maddie because Maddie and Frank, because she's already being used. So what we'll do is we will go for, I think she's going to be the better. Switch to her. And then I don't worry about this because when you've used, because I haven't got many of these troops, when these get used, it will just give me whatever of these are left and then the next level down. So we'll save this as number 2. And then we'll go into number 3, and it reckons these are my third best. Again, I just disagree. So what you need to remember here is he's being used, no, she's being used, and she's being used, he's not. Now I would use him. And in here, he's being used and she's being used. He's not, and neither is he, I don't think. But his stats are 84, his are 115, so we'll switch that. And Sounds Travis 52 and 37. God. Can't remember if we're using Jane. I think we are using Jane. We're using Jane and Maddie. So I'm only really left with Travis. Well, he's got better stats than that. Although he does have a lot of other things in there. I'm going to have to go for him for now. So that is my first choice. That is my second choice. That is my third choice. So I've now set my 3 strongest heroes in that order. I don't think I had enough to do a 4th one anyway. I might have done. But that's how I do it. So now when I go and attack someone, for instance, I was doing trap earlier on and I was struggling with trap. Now I've changed this around. I'll see if I can do it. So where's traps? Up here somewhere. There it is. No, that's not trap. That's trap. There we go. I've got the fat dude. Oh, this is where I've got to ask for help. Oh. Let's try and attack it. Is it 4.7 million? We've got 4.6 million. So I'm going to give it a go. It says I'm not going to beat it, but I don't know. I think I might be able to. Although, to be honest, if you are struggling, you can always use your massive march. And that would mean you could put more troops in, which means it builds your hitting ratios up slightly. Are we going to win or is it going to complete and utter failure? There we go. Victory. Now, I couldn't beat that with my current formation I had, but now I've changed all my formation to what I want it to be, to which I believe is the better. I've now beaten that. Whereas before, earlier on, I couldn't beat that. So just by going through, and is the game going, oh great, look at that, and the game crashes. Okay everybody, welcome back. Sorry about that, we had a few technical issues there. BlueStacks is crap. So I just wanted to show you that there is no easy, hard, right or wrong way in setting up your heroes or choosing your heroes. What you need to do is to work out which are your best heroes, and you do that. I find it easier rather than going through every single one in heroes. I tend to go on to my chief, then on my troops down here, and across to my formations, and then this is what it says is my best. I disagree. I think that is my best, as you've just seen. Just do that again for a second because yeah, see that says 4.756070. 4697. So this has got less power than the other one, or less. Yeah, this has got 4.6, whereas the other one's got slightly more. But yeah, that other set of troops it showed me couldn't beat that Colosseum, but this one could, and it's got lower power. It's because you're looking at the amount of damage they're doing. All these are doing the better damage than those other ones are. That's what makes it possible. I'm really hoping that I've explained this the best that I can. It is really, really difficult to explain everything. I mean, I could sit here and go through, yeah, well, what you've got to do is you've got to do your chief gear, you've got to get your chief up to certain levels. How do you do that? Well, let's just have a look at this then. So if we go into here, I think it is, which no, that's not it. What do I go for my chief gear? Can't remember. Brain's gone to mush. Talents, no, that's not it. Enhance might be on here then. Show gear. That the one? Yeah, show gear. So as you can see, I'm at rookie. I mean, I'm hardly rated at all. I'm at rookie, green. My other account is I've got this one here, and I've got this one here, this one here, this one back here, this one up here, and this one up to here on my main account. So all these obviously add to your percentages as well. So it's not just one single thing. There's this to do. There's also the badges to do, which I haven't unlocked on this account, which need to be level 25. You've also got your hero, where are we? Is it this one? Your hero gear, which we've just been through. Your chief gear, I've just been through your hero gear. So this is all your infantry. This is your hunter. This is your rider. All this needs to be done. Just remember that infantry needs to be, do not forget about your infantry. Infantry is the most important because infantry is what takes all the damage first in battle, which means your hunters and your riders can do damage over the top. So you need them to roughly be upgraded a bit each time on each one. Hunter health, infantry health is the most important because the more health your infantry have, the longer they last in the battle, meaning that the attack of your infantry, the attack of your attack and lethality of your infantry, your rider and your hunter means it can do more because your infantry is lasting longer because of their extra health. So I hope I've explained this. I'm trying to do this the best I possibly can, to be honest. I could sit here and go through all the stats. I could go through, right, well, if you've got all these ones maxed here, you want this one, this one, this one. Well, I'm sorry, I can't get the Joker because he's now obsolete. There is some that people are using that are obsolete, which were a two, how do you make it? They make the game too one-sided, but you have to buy them. So they've all become obsolete. These new generation of heroes that are coming out are far, far superior. I mean, the likes of Tyler, I think he's brilliant. She's not too bad either. When you start checking her stats out when they start being leveled up. All these new ones they're bringing in, this one here, I love this one. I'm maxing this one as close as I possibly can. They're really, really good. And you can win these. You don't buy these. Like I said, everything in here has been won through playing the game. This account has had no money spent on it at all. So I'm trying to do this in a way that it incorporates everybody. If you set your formations up or you set your troops up the same way I've just shown you, then you will have different heroes in your different formations because people are going to be higher than me, people are going to be lower than me. I'm trying to do it so it incorporates everybody. Doesn't matter if you're level 20, doesn't matter if you're a 25 or a 30, plasma 1, 2 or 3. The way I do it with this small account, everybody can do on whatever your account you're on, no matter how big or small you are. It's the easiest and fairest way to do it. If you've got money to spend on a game and you buy these heroes in and you upgrade them through spending money, then good for you. I'm not going to say that's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. It's each individual person's way in doing it. If they can afford it, go for it. If you can't afford it, don't. This is the furthest way I can think of explaining it, by using an account that has nothing on it whatsoever and show you how you start to build these up, how you start to check these things, and then how you start to pick the right heroes, and then what things to look at. I hope this helps. I really, really do. This is a subject I've tried to not take on board for a long time because there is so much that's involved, so much to learn. But there we go. That's the easiest way I can think of doing it. Don't do what I've done, as in use the troops or use the heroes I've used. Go through the process I go through to pick your best heroes, and then use your best heroes in your rallies. As always, if you've got any questions, everybody knows me, drop me a PM. I don't mind talking to you in PM, helping you out in PM, rather than doing it in open chat where everyone can see people feeling belittled because I'm helping them, or feel that they need help, or people think that I'm the big I am. I'm not. I know probably just as much as anybody else. It's just that I want to take what I've learned and give it to everybody, and everybody has a choice to take on board my advice and do that, or do what the hell they want, because at the end of the day, it's a game. You play this game the way you want, with the hours that you have to play on it, spend the money on it you want or don't want. It is totally your choice. I'm just here to help. So once again, thank everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. I like it when you comment now. I think it's brilliant. And thank you for those that stuck up for me with the last person, shall we say, who made a comment on one of my pages. Thank you very much for people defending me. That was very kind of you, very nice of you, and it gave me a right good uplift. I felt quite good after that. So like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one. Thank you very much and goodbye.